you can upload it after.
Right, definitely. And we drop the frames. We should connect here in a second. Oh, this is
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah, how many frames are you dropping?
I dropped 50% like right at the start.
Oh,
Yeah. All right. Well, we will try to do our best. Because I am recording right now.
all
ETC
right.
band
So
away, Rainer band away, and an Anduin first pickup.
Anduin is a really strong healer in general. He's a safer healer, brings a lot of the same, brings a lot of what you want. He's got 2 heals. He's got some utility with the root and his leap of faith, which is neither a leap nor does it require faith. And his ultimates are both really powerful, whether you're looking for a hard engage or disengage, or just trying to keep your team alive.
Yeah, definitely. And on the other side, we see Johanna and Gul'dan come out. Johanna is the strongest tank in the meta, in my opinion, right now. And Gul'dan has fantastic clear on the objectives here on Infernal Shrine, so I can definitely understand why they'd pick him up.
Yeah, absolutely. Joanna is has definitely been shown to be the most effective tank. So I'm a little intrigued as to why we get an ETC ban instead of a Joanna ban. When they both serve or when they're both really close to each other in the amount of disrupt that they have. Although we do see Double Dam coming in with the Blaze and Swing come in with Katie, the Fire Boys coming out.
Everybody loves a good Kael'thas, especially on Infernal Shrines. EGC, a very powerful tank as well, so I can understand why they went ahead and banned that. We see the Cassia ban come out. Now, that's interesting to me. She did get a rework. She is relatively powerful right now, but to me, that implies that Can't Counterpick Stupid wants to go ahead and maybe pick up something like a Greymane or a really powerful auto attacker here.
Yeah, Cassia, I agree. A very interesting ban. She did get buffed because while I really liked her rework, she was underperforming. And maybe Linus or Tiger have been working on a Cassia play, and CCS has done their research. Malfurion coming out. Malfurion's an interesting healer here, or would have been. Malfurion's raw numbers, untalented, uninterrupted over time, right? Probably the strongest numbers, but his heals are so delayed that which makes up for the fact that the heals themselves are huge.
Definitely. It's not a very strong burst healer, but I can see understanding into people like the Blaze why you'd want to get those high burst numbers out because besides the KT, I know we've only seen part of the draft. Um, it's really easy, I think, to heal up over time with what we're seeing so far from Clouded Minds.
Yeah, absolutely. Sonya really strong here in the objectives as well. I'm intrigued by the Lucio Leoric combo. Just getting that move speed in, Leoric able to get up there and be disruptive, probably with Entomb. Um, and Entomb being a great trap for Gul'dan to go off in. Phoenix rounding out the Clouded Minds draft, very AOE centric, which is what we would expect. And Double Dam will be main tanking with Blaze.
I really like a good Blaze main tank. I think that's a strong counter into Johanna, especially since she wants to get right into your team. You can shut down that condemn early. And pairing it with the Sonya, you have a really nice set of diving buddies. Now, Valera.
Valera. Now, that's the right skin for Valera. That's the only skin option and the right color for it. So that's good. The Valera's a little surprising, but looking through Cloud & Mind's draft, you have Katie, you have Phoenix, you have Sonya. Even Sonya is disrupted by Valera. Valera's actually, I think, a really good pick here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I like the Valera. I think she's strong. I think she'll do a lot of damage to Phoenix and Kel'Thas. I'm going to bring it back to us here for a second. Thank you very much, Nyquil for the raid. I do apologize. We are bleeding a lot of frames right now. Hopefully, we'll hop back in here in a second and everything will be all right. Looking at these drafts, what do you think, Taco? Who would you give it to right now?
I think Cloud & Minds has the objective. If they can stay in the fight and even survive the fight, they don't even have to survive the fight. They just have to push the fight out a little bit. They get the objective. and this map is all about the macro. It's about getting that push, and the Punisher is brutal. So I think Clouded Minds has a good draft here.
I definitely agree. I think it's very strong. I think they will be fantastic on that objective. Like you said, we're going to go ahead and hop into the game here. I really like the can't counterpick stupid draft, however. I think they've got a really strong tank. They've got really strong heroes, and that Valyria in their back pocket will definitely make for some exciting plays.
Very true. Just to remind everybody, we do have Tiger on Sonya, Star Knight on Anduin, Swing on Katie, Venus on Phoenix, and Double Dam on Blaze.
And
And that's Clouded Minds.
over here on the right-hand side, we've got Valkymer on that Johanna, Deathshade on that, goodness, what is that? Leoric, Osprey on the Gul'dan, Silma on that Valyria, and Madathi on, or Madathi? I can't see. I don't have my glasses on. On that Lucio. Team stepping up into the middle lane, just trying to do their best to clear out these minions.
I'm surprised you recognized that Silma was on Valyria, given that Valyria was stealth, which makes her really hard to see. So to recognize the character model, that's just a bunch of bullcrap on that.
I've played a little bit of Heroes in my day. We're going to see the teams once again just trying to go through and pick up that XP. We see Venus down here soaking up that bottom lane, up in the top or the middle lane. His teammates clearing that out. And we see the nice rotation from Can't Counterpick Stupid.
Yeah, really interesting up here in the top lane as both bruisers are at near no health, and then a sit from Leoric and a spin to win from Tiger, taking them both back up to about 3/4 health. So they're going back and forth. They're not afraid to trade blows because both of them have a lot of self-sustain.
Yeah, definitely. Leoric should perhaps weigh this out in the long run. We'll take a look at the talents. I've accidentally jumped to Sonya. I think it's control 1. There we are. And from Leoric, we do have that fealty unto death. And that's when the minion dies, he gets 1% of his maximum health and 6 mana back. So as long as he's killing those minions, Tiger that is, he should heal up nice and safe.
That's interesting. I would normally expect to see an Ossian renewal, but then again, I'm not as good as these guys. And if he's going to be double soaking, that especially a little bit later, that can make a lot of sense. Also, these objectives are close to the lane, so he can probably get the benefit of that talent during the objective.
Definitely. We are seeing Tiger come out here, like you mentioned, keeping up nice and healthy. So it's going to be really interesting to see who holds this lane.
Down in the middle lane, Double Dam getting real low, less than 1/4 health as they have a 4v2 going on in the bush. He's able to get out away from the dot from Gul'dan, but looking real tight. She's in a blaze of glory getting out of there with her life. We still have no first blood.
I hopped to it right as she was low. We got to see her back out. We see that both camps were grabbed in the middle lane, and with the team chasing off Phoenix, this bottom camp should go over to the side of Can't Counterpick Stupid.
It looks like so Phoenix has been in this bottom lane kind of unopposed, and if we look at the XP that should be reflected, Leoric and Sonya very similar in XP, and Phoenix about the same XP as Sonya and Leoric, keeping his team together as the other team is CCS is rotating. So he hasn't really had a whole lot of interactions with heroes yet, so I'm interested to see what happens as we come into this objective.
Definitely. We're seeing Clouded Mind step up to this objective. We should see their superior wave clear come into play, but a really nice punish from Johanna drops them a little low, makes them a little slow, but nothing that Anduin can't heal up. And now we're seeing Can't Counterpick Stupid coming in to finally engage.
Corruption comes in from the Gul'dan, and Leoric going in to lead the way along with Johanna. They're pushing out Phoenix with the teleport out, almost no health, staying alive, leaving Faith onto the Blaze. Tiger, Sonya spin to win, trying to stay alive, gets pushed but not interrupted, able to keep spinning. Looks like Deathshade might fall. Leoric getting trait value now as the Iron Skin comes out from Johanna. She's diving in alone and unafraid, trying to keep Clouded Minds off of the rest of her team. Doing a really good job. Gul'dan looking really low still. Valkymer almost no health. Iron Skin's down. Joanna going to go down 2-1 for Clouded Minds, and they do get that objective with that insane AoE damage that they have. Gul'dan's damage, not quite enough to keep up, but keeping Clouded Minds really low, and they're not really able to follow on this push.
Definitely wasn't so bad that Sonya died right there. She died at the perfect time for the team to go ahead and pick up the Punisher. And we will see Leoric going down up here in the top lane. Meanwhile, Sonya has respawned, is going to go ahead and get some extra soak in the bottom. And we are seeing Clouded Minds just demolishing this top lane.
Absolutely, and it's a great thing to see coming in early. You see that really impactful first Punisher, and it's an arcane Punisher, so it's very destructive, although not very disruptive, but that damage is very constant coming from those arcane beams. It's like I remember someone saying it's like trying to run through a Bowser's Castle level in the original Super Mario Brothers.
Definitely. We're seeing the teams that were able to get the Punisher, not able to grab that fort, unfortunately, but it is very low. So we're going to see the teams retreat to the middle lane, pick up their camps, and now everybody looking back to just try and grab the XP. Credit to Valeera, even though they lost Leoric and a lot of the fort in the top lane, she was able to keep Can't Counterpick Stupid in the game. And now we see Johanna coming out, just trying to harass Clouded Minds a little bit as they look to clear out this camp.
And we do see a 1-3-1 now on both teams. Valeera getting picked off by Weenus, and Phoenix really showing what he can do when he's fighting heroes. He's got a lot of mobility, a lot of that AoE damage, just really constant damage that Valeera couldn't keep up with or get away from. Joanna coming in with the Condemn onto 3 of Clouded Minds. Anduin keeping his mind clear, able to heal back up that damage for the most part. But mana bars are looking like they might be an issue if they stay down here too long going into this next objective, which should start the timer very soon.
We saw them try to pick up and engage on the siege camp of Can't Counterpick Stupid, but unfortunately they decided to go for some kills instead, and unable to get some kills, Clouded Minds is going to have to back out and reset before that next objective. Up in the top lane here, we see Silma and Deathshade looking to push out onto Tiger. Timer is wary to their shenanigans and is just going to back up safely behind tower walls.
Yeah. It is important to notice, I feel, coming in to this next objective, both teams do have level 10, which means they do have their heroic talent tiers. Talent tiers, the best and tastiest of tiers. And all heroics are picked.
Looking at the heroics. Yeah, you want to touch on the heroics?
Yeah, so on Clouded Minds, we have Wrath of the Berserker, Purification Salvo, Combustion, Holy Word Salvation, and Phoenix looking at Salvo and Salvation in rapid succession threw me off. That's for Clouded Minds. Over here on CCS, we have Blessed Shield, Sound Barrier, Horrify, Entomb, and Cloak of Shadows, which those heroics drastically affect these team fights, I believe. What do you think that impact will be?
Yeah, definitely. I think a really well-timed fear will have just disastrous repercussions if they get it onto people like the Kael'thas or the Anduin. Entomb, always super solid. You love to see it. My only concern is if Blessed Shield and Fear come out at the same time, because that could be a little bit of anti-synergy. Valeera basically just takes care of herself with this build. And I think it'll be a good team fight. Looking over at the side of Clouded Minds, the Salvo with the Blaze Combustion should do a ton of damage. And we're seeing everybody go in. Sonya pops that Wrath and is wailing on Deathshade.
We get the spin to win. The Iron Skin and the Condemn coming out as the Entomb drops. Purification Salvo and just the Phoenix. I didn't even see the Phoenix damage. Purification Salvo just melting everybody as Phoenix, or rather Katie, comes in with the Living Bomb to clean up on the Joanna and the Leoric. The front line being down and the back line with no health really to speak of. Clouded Minds taking control of this objective quite handily.
Yeah, and this should be another Punisher, going over to Clouded Minds. This is a Mortar Punisher, not the most desirable, but still enough to get the job done. We can see Can't Counterpick Stupid coming in, just trying to drop a little bit of harassment damage, making sure the team can't push as well, but that Mortar Punisher will go over to Clouded Minds, and they are ready for it over here on the right-hand side.
You were talking about a little bit of actually a big opportunity for anti-synergy in a lot of the heroics on Can't Counterpick Stupid, but if Leoric gets a well-timed Entomb, because keep in mind they are in comms, so if we get a good Entomb coming out, a Horrify following the Entomb is just days of crowd control.
Definitely. And we'll see that Punisher go out without taking a ton of fort. We will get the bottom wall taken away. Double Dam going in onto Johanna and Leoric, and Weena's following up. Gonna get a little
Gul'dan
bit
with the double stun. But like you said, also if Gul'dan gets a little itchy with that trigger finger, then he can. There's a lot of room to disrupt a very well thought out team fight coming from.
A little bit of T-tours going on here. We see Sonya killing Deathshade for the third time, excuse me, solo on this side with the help of her siege camp, and now the rest of Clouded Minds are here, and they're looking for the siege camp of CCS.
Clouded Minds getting a little power movie is the words that I'm gonna use. Going in for the invade on the siege camp. They have a level advantage. They have the macro, well, the lane pressure to do it right now. So really good steal for them getting the XP. They don't get any effect out of it, any push from it, but they do get the XP for sure and the deny.
As we continue on, they were able to grab that, like you said, Taco. They're able to grab this bottom camp as well. And CCS is just being dragged all over the map here. They've got to clear this bottom out. Now we see Clouded Minds going to get that middle fort and blow it up. That's exactly what they do. Second fort of the game, going over to Clouded Minds. But now a nice blessed shield has come out.
Condemn and the corruption damage followed with the Horrify. Phoenix going to go down without even the opportunity to try to teleport. Blaze going to go down as well. Really big catch on probably the two most impactful characters on the team of Clouded Minds, except for the just raw unfair damage that comes out of Katie, so he doesn't count. And CCS taking advantage to push.
Should be a nice little respite for them as they're able to grab that middle wall. Tiger comes down, though, and he's been carrying this team with the raw damage he's doing in the solo lane. Out comes the slam. Gul'dan has to run for their lives, but here's Valera now, and Tiger has to go ahead and back up there.
A lot of poison damage onto Tiger, which for Sonya is a rough position because you want to heal up with Whirlwind, but you want to get out of there so you don't die. But if you leave, you still die. Gul'dan falling to the living bomb from Kael'thas, just knowing when your entire health bar is yellow that you're not gonna make it. It's like, well, that keyboard's useless.
I guess I die.
Yeah.
Teams once again going ahead and grabbing those camps and looking at these builds super quick. It is the Living Bomb build out of Kael'thas, which is the Sun King's Fury, the Pyromaniac, and then, of course, that Ignite on the Q Talon. And they're just going to go ahead and grab this bottom tower. They know they have the advantage. They have the team advantage. There's no real damage coming out right now on the side of can't counterpick stupid. And
while they do that, CCS getting their Bruiser camp, which is going to push in the same lane as this Punisher, which this Frozen Punisher, the third Punisher, is going to push down the same lane as the first one. So if Clouded Minds gets it, will be huge. It will be pushing on a keep. But that Bruiser camp gonna provide a little bit of pressure into the lane. Tiger getting stuck by the Entomb is able to spear out onto the Lucio. Thanks, buddy Lucio, getting the high five from the Sonya this time. And that Bruiser camp's gonna make it really hard for Clouded Minds to fight under this objective.
Nice job from Tiger thinking under pressure. If that had been me, I'd been like, well, I guess, you know, I hope my team can do something with my death. Weenus coming in, doing a ton of damage. Blessed Shield comes out. It does not connect onto Weenus. He gets the escape right away. And Counterpick Stupid has to back up. Anduin giving a nice heal out to his fellow allies. And this may be the third Punisher of the game going over to Clouded Minds.
Yeah, now both teams have regrouped. Valera's here for Can't Counterpick Stupid. They're going to try to engage. Double Dam getting out with the jet propulsion. That's going to be down. That's a lot of CC for Clouded Minds as well. Tiger really disruptive in the back line of Can't Counterpick Stupid. Leoric trying to hunt down the Kael'thas. Kael'thas putting out a lot of fire damage. There goes the Protect and the Phoenix. It gets disrupted, but the Phoenix protecting Phoenix, as Phoenix does blink out. The Phoenix wears also times out, so one of the Phoenix is gone, the other one's still alive, and kind of counterintuitive, the one that rises again has gone away as Clouded Mind gets the Frozen Punisher, and I stop word vomiting.
Nicely done by Clouded Mind. You can see a little bit of panic come out for CCS as this Frozen Punisher comes. It is the strongest Punisher in the game right now as it turns off those towers and forts, which can be so detrimental after their new changes. And this should be the keep front wall going over to Clouded Minds.
Absolutely, and Clouded Mind's not getting too aggressive with it. While it is a Frozen Punisher and disabling the keep, they're getting the walls first. They want to have a clear path of retreat, as we do see a Leap of Faith come out to rescue the Kael'thas. Purification Salvo comes out from the Phoenix, getting a little harass damage, forcing CCS to not pursue as the Frozen Punisher does finally fall. Clouded Mind's not wanting to get too aggressive because while they are pushing it on the keep and they're in a really good spot, it's death timers are long enough now, and this game is so swingy and throwy, they just want to hold on to their momentum.
They're definitely doing a great job as they pick up their Bruiser camp. We can see Sonya jumping down onto that siege camp. She grabbed the enemy siege camp over here on the right-hand side. And now they're just dragging CCS all over the map even more. Where else can you push them? All the XP is flowing into CCS, so hopefully they can do something with this. And if I was Clouded Minds, I would just wait till 12:20 to fight. However, that doesn't look like it's going to be the case.
But what would you do if you were CCS right now?
I would try and take this fight before 20, and that's exactly what they do. They get the Phoenix before the Salvation can come out, and now Clouded Minds is on the run. Tiger's in the back line trying to buy time for his team.
Speaking of Phoenix, Kael'thas Phoenix does go out. It does fall off. Tiger, full yellow bar right now. It's going... Gul'dan going to have enough of that dot damage to take out Sonya, but Sonya able to disrupt long enough that the other three members of Clouded Minds are able to get out and wait to regroup. There's no objective pressure yet, so Clouded Minds can just kind of sit on the front porch. They have all the camps taken. There's nothing that they can do right now without being overextended, except for maybe catch the Gul'dan out, who is over in front of an already capped camp. That really good pick for Clouded Minds. Really good opportunity taken to kind of balance out. And now Gul'dan dead for almost a minute when they'll have Sonya back in 20 seconds. And potentially even the start of an objective.
Nice pick for Clouded Minds. It's going to be a nice staggered death for that next objective phase. And one thing I wanted to talk about while we were getting the pick on Gul'dan, which is why we missed most of it, is that top camp with the spawning Shaman. We did see about half that keep go down, so that is going to be something that CCS has to worry about on top of everything else. And now with level 20, Clouded Minds are looking for Selma. They see the Valeera, they're able to unsheath her, and now she is running for her life.
Yes, and teleport from the Phoenix to get that extra attack speed, and a beautiful gravity lapse coming out from Swing to make her flail in the air as Blaze finishes off with the kill.
And that's going to be another staggered death. The siege camp is popping up, so it looks like Clouded Minds is just going to go ahead and take that right now. And as I said, we are level 20, so let's talk a little bit about that. We've got that Ignore Pain coming out for Sonya. It's not going to be the Unconquered Spirit from Phoenix, but rather the Singularity Charge. We don't see that too often. Everything else looks pretty standard. Flamethrower from Kael'thas, Cliff of Faith from Anduin, and then, of course, that Speedier Combustion for Blaze.
Over on CCS, we get Radiating Faith for the Blessed Shield on Joanna. House Party, because it's a house party, don't need nobody, for Lucio. Got Haunt for the Horrify on Gul'dan. Buried Alive, probably the strongest level 20 in the game. Definitely in the top 5 for Leoric, and Elusiveness on Valeera. And the Arcane Punisher, as we have looped through all three already and are back to Punisher number 4, does go to Clouded Minds, uncontested at that.
Looks like CCS is just trying to regroup. They're sitting. They want this gank bush right now. They're going to try and look for a fight behind this Punisher. It's their only hope to get back in the game if they can't pick somebody off. But a clever
What a beautiful scout with the oil, and forces the Punisher to jump. There goes the Buried Alive. Doesn't catch him on Purification Salvo coming out. Ween is going to live long enough to get some of the damage out. There's a Salvation. Phoenix putting a little bit of pressure with the Flame Strike. Star Knight doing a great job keeping his team alive as they do a lot of punishment to CCS, although Kael'thas does fall first. the a lot of suppression onto Phoenix as well, not able to put out that damage, but can't counterpick stupid, does have to go back to defend their keep.
What a devastating fight. And it was just a disaster for Can't Counterpick Stupid. They did manage to pick off Kale Foss, but if you look, the Fear Whiff, the Blessed Shield was a mess. You can see the team is really kind of struggling, and the whole time, even though they got KT, this keep is being pushed. The Punisher is hitting this core. Top keep fell earlier to the camps, and it doesn't look like we're going to get any core damage as Can't Counterpick Stupid is able to pick it up quickly enough.
For a little bit of background info on that keep, Sonya was out there pushing, so it turns out that fight was actually a 5v4.
Oh, okay, I must have
Sonya
missed that.
No, it's okay. It was I missed it too until I was like, wait a second, and I saw Sonya on the mini map. Sonya was pushing top, so that was a 5v4. But you're right. I think Can't Counterpick Stupid is getting a little bit into a discomfort zone. They're not that used to being behind on a map, and it's an uncomfortable position, and they're trying to regain control. But when you tighten your grip is most often when you start to lose it. So
they're playing really hard, trying not to make mistakes, and sometimes that can come back just to bite you. You're focused so hard on not making mistakes, you're not focused on what you need to be doing. And right now, they're doing a great job of getting back on track. They cleared that camp, and now, honestly, if Clouded Minds doesn't fight for the rest of this game, they've won. The lanes are pushing in devastatingly. Top lane is a little bit rough. They're going to go ahead and clear that right now. And if we look over here at the bottom lane, you can see 2 catapults pushing in. CCS has to clear that. That's exactly what they're going to do. And now we're seeing a little bit of a split in the party.
Yeah, we do have a potential 5v4. If Clouded Mind sees it in time, they can engage on. Looks like they're going to. We get an anchor from Valera. She is completely invisible, jumping on the Venus, almost full delete, but that teleport going to get himself away from danger. But there's the 5-man Blessed Shield, followed up with the Horrify, splitting the team. Valera coming in on the Kel'Thas. Kel'Thas looks to be the target. Never mind. 3v2. Sonya and Blaze disrupted. CCS regrouping. The Buried Alive comes in. The damage going to be enough to take out the Sonya, who can't spin to win and stay alive. Anduin going to fall as well. Phoenix putting on a little suppression damage, but not enough. That ult going down for Katie as well. That's a 2 for nothing in favor of Can't Counterpick Stupid. They're looking like they're in a better position now.
Definitely. They found their way back into the game. They got a nice pick on the 2. Now let's see if they can't squander it. Leoric is stuck back in base, so this is a 3v4, and it looks like they're trying to go ahead and grab this middle keep. A fantastic Blessed Shield by Johanna secured that 3v2, but Double Dam has her ultimate back up. Osprey taking a ton of damage. Weenus right on top of him. He does go down. Valkymer running for his life, but Weenus is out for blood. Valera comes out, and he could pay for his life. Oh, the greed is real. Swing tries to save his friend, but now he's low as well, and they've got to back out.
A huge disruption from Valera, a clutch opportunity taken, which, I mean, that's the whole point of Valera anyway, is you look like you're at the advantage, and then suddenly there's a Valera there that you didn't expect to be there because she's sneaky little words that I won't say on your stream. But she definitely shows up out of the blue, really turning that little skirmish, and we're at 4v4 right now coming into this objective. But CCS is yet to get one of the objectives. But any one objective at this point could be the game.
You are very correct on that, Taco. We're seeing Clouded Minds. They're staying calm despite their losses. Venus will be up in 20 seconds. Gul'dan in 10. They're just going to go ahead and give up this Punisher, and I honestly think that's the correct thing to do, because if you look at Counterpick Stupid's team, they don't have a ton of siege damage, honestly. Their biggest siege weapon is Gul'dan, and he's not particularly good at pushing buildings. 15 in, Sonya's going to go in, pop the Wrath, and it looks like they're actually going to try and contest for this Punisher.
I think right now, I mean, that's okay to do, but here's Leoric shows up. I think they need to bait out the Buried Alive and then disengage.
I think you are 100% right. We see Selma jumping on the back, looking for a nice, juicy target. Surprised she didn't go for that Anduin. Anduin hanging around. He knows she's there.
And then there's the Buried Alive. Double Dam getting pulled out. No one else trapped in the Entomb. Leoric going to be the first to fall to the Living Bomb inside of the Phoenix. Valera doing work on Anduin. There goes the Holy Word Salvation. Going to keep himself alive. Clear out the dots. Heal back up a little bit. Gul'dan going to fall instead. Blaze doing work as Phoenix finishes off the Joanna. And we see a 4-man working on on the objective as Tiger goes in to add pressure to the base to ensure that this Punisher gets capped.
Tiger looking to finish off quick and easy, like this Mortar Punisher coming in once again, not the best. And we see Sonya pop that Wrath once again going in. This could prove to be troublesome as she is sitting at about half health, quarter health. The Leap of Faith pulls her away from Lucio, and she's back on that core, nice and healed up.
That
Phoenix
core,
taking a ton of damage, and
the Punisher not even gonna make it there. The core is gone. It's just gone.
GG. Game number 1 going over to Clouded Minds. I'm so sorry we couldn't see that on stream. I'm going to try and lower the bit rate of the stream, see if maybe we can't get it back online. So I'm going to stop this really quickly.
So I see the stream right now.
Oh, well, I just stopped it. I'm going to drop the bit rate a little bit. We are still recording, so everybody will be able to see this game. I will post it later this evening, and I'm just going to drop the bit rate a little bit. Let's see, and we'll drop it to 2,000 and see if that's better. All right.
So I pulled a goof and am no longer looking at the stat page, so I cannot help you there.
That's quite all right. So we'll take a look at this end screen right now. Looking 15 to 10, very close in kills. Lots of damage coming out from Swing and Sonya. I definitely think that Tiger was the MVP of this game. It was just all over the map, dragging Leoric everywhere, fighting him really well in the lane. I would be surprised if that wasn't a respect ban in the next next map.
The macro was huge. Absolutely disruptive in the lanes, and then when it came to fighting, Tiger on Sonya able to move everybody away from his team and just keep them from being a cohesive 5-man unit, which is really what solidified those fights and overall the game for Clouded Minds.
Really nicely done. I'm going to go ahead and move over to the talent so everybody will have the opportunity to see the talent as we wait for game number 1. I'm just going to go ahead and whisper everyone, tell them very sorry about the games. Recorded. Recorded. I can spell. And we're losing a lot of frames, but it looks like we might be okay. I'm going to check here in just a second. We'll bring it back to us as we wait for game number 2 to get underway. I'm going to open up Twitch right now. So, game number 2.
Looks like we are going to Volskaya Foundry next, and let's see if Team 2 has first pick. So it looks like CCS did take first pick, leaving Clouded Minds to pick the map.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see something a little bit better for them on this map. You'll have to forgive my spaciness. I am trying to make sure that the stream stays nice, and it looks like we're bleeding frames pretty bad, but we're staying online, which is the best that we can ask for. Right.
I'm telling you, go back and watch my last couple VODs. It's I mean, I guess at least I had the advantage of having audio and staying through with the stream. But you said you're still experiencing a storm, right?
Yeah, it's a really bad storm. I see OBS disconnected again. Once again, everybody, we're doing the very best that we can. So hopefully you guys are able to see this later and enjoy it. We'll go ahead and take a look at our in-between games. So, Clouded Minds, they had the first game. If you missed it, it was a really intense, nice carry by the team. They got together, they synergized very well, protecting from the nice wombo combo with the Entomb from CCS. It looks like the teams are getting all set up
It
here.
looks like they're in the right spots.
Right.
We have, yeah. So coming out of the first game, we've talked about expecting to see a Sonya ban. I don't know that any other bands really come out, in particular, because of just how different this map is and how different the objective plays. Although we do know that Double Dam really impactful with that Blaze, and also really comfortable on the Blaze. So that might be something else we see out of CCS. But otherwise, I don't think there's anything in particular from either team that we would expect to see go away.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the Johanna, those blessed shields were really impactful. They almost turned the tide a couple of times. We know that Valkymer is really strong on the Johanna. Other than that, I expect to see pretty meta bans out of everyone, but I don't think they should give Tiger that Sonya again. I really think that was super impactful up in that top lane and then on those camps throughout the map, especially since camps are so important on this Volskaya Foundry.
Yeah, absolutely. And Volskaya, again, just completely different. So this is a vehicle-based map, still a control point area, one small area that we're looking at fighting in. But because it's a vehicle, the vehicle counts as a hero, so there's more counterplay around that.
Definitely. Well, we are jumping into the draft here, so remember, we're going to show you guys that sweet stinger made by Covey, and then we will hop on into the draft.
30-second one.
Yes, we are back in. So neither team has banned away yet, taking a lot of time to decide what they would like to see go away, what they think is impactful on this map. And what would you like to see, Taco?
Well, I would like to see how amazing my wife is. She just brought me tacos in while we were in lobby, and so I am super excited about that. But I also always like to see a Katie getting banned because Katie just F that guy.
Yeah, fair enough, but it is going to be the Urel once again. I have a feeling that Death Shade plays a pretty nasty Urel, so bad, in fact, that they don't want anything to do with it on the side of Clouded Minds. Over here on the side
a
of...
really good ban.
Yeah.
Really good ban here.
Can't counterpick stupid, getting rid of the Li Ming and the KT. Swing obviously did an amazing job last time, and I wonder if we'll see another ETC come out. This does mean, however, that if Clouded Minds wants to pick up the early Sonya once again, they can definitely do so.
I would be surprised if they didn't. Although, again, I don't think Sonya is as effective here.
I can see that. Maybe we might see another solo laner, like a Thrall. There's going to be a Sylvanas coming out for the side of Can't Counterpick Stupid. Very strong with that Punisher. Those black arrows do massive damage to the forts.
Absolutely. As well as her teamfight presence has been shifted. I won't say that it's better than it used to be, but it's definitely still very present, very impactful, and she feels a little bit better in those team fights.
We are going to see that Johanna come out for Double Dam this time, and the Rainer for Venus.
Jimmy the large minion Rainer. All right, Venus coming in. Use that bayonet. It's there for a reason. If you run out of ammo, stab.
He's a lot better than he used to be. He's not so much of a minion now.
Well, he's the large. So if you take a full minion wave and a catapult and put them together, you get Jimmy.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
yeah. I had a
we
brawl once, and I had two Illidan's and two
what?
Rainers, and it was before this just reminded me you calling him a large minion. It was before the Rainer rework, and I played some like nobody healer like Alex Straza, and I remember thinking I just had four large minions on my team. I'm like, I got two range minions, I got
Two melee minions.
two melee minions, and they died as such.
How
Going back.
dare you disrespect the Lifebinder though? Some nobody healer. That is the Dragon Queen.
I mean,
That is.
she's my best healer except for Anduin, and I think that's because
Yeah,
Anduin is
I
basically just
love
what
me
I
some
looked like
Alex
in
Strauss.
high school.
I,
Um,
I I even get upset, like not upset, but like I won't even abbreviate Alex Strauss's name to that first four letters. If I abbreviate it, Lifebinder or Straza, like just too much respect for
Fair enough. All right, moving back to the draft for a quick second, we do see the Garros come through as a ban, really trying to strain Valkymir's hero pool. Stukov and Lunara picked up.
I
Um,
love the Lunara. I love the Lunara pick. I see so many times that people don't. They're too afraid to have a Lunara on their team because if she feels very low impact on your team, but when you're playing into a Lunara, she feels super oppressive. So I like that pick and the Stukov area control as well. I'm sorry.
It
Go
is
for it.
really good, but we're going to see Stitches coming out for Valkymer and Ragnaros for Deathshade in that off lane. I think the Lucio is great into this team. You can really speed boost your team out if they get hooked away, and the boop knocks back any follow up. The combo should be Stitches hook into silence, and of course, the Junkrat also disrupt this combo. So I think that CCS, Clouded Minds are ready for this.
Absolutely. Yeah. I expect Stitches to go Bile based off of this team. Or based off of what they're playing into. Tiger coming in with Imperious.
All
Imperious really
right.
strong here. I like the Imperious pick. But I want to talk about the Rag pick if we can.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
so in a few patches ago, he got a little bit of change going on. So his Sulfurous Smash dropping the hammer a lot stronger. Now there's not a whole lot of CC for him to follow it up with, and it's hard to hit raw. And this is a 3-lane map, so wave is very enticing. But given the tight areas of the fight, I would love to see a hammer pick out of Ragnaros. What are your thoughts on it?
I think that Hammer is a very solid pickup. We're going to hop back to us for a second. I think on the point, like you said, it can do a lot of damage. Imperious, I'm very excited to see just because it all comes down to if you can hit the spears, and he was hitting the spears really well on Sonya. So if we can land the spears, we can follow it up with the Rainer, the Blessed Shield from the Johanna, condemn into spear. It's also a really good combo. And I'm just very excited to get into these team fights.
So which draft do you like better?
Which draft do I like better? I think once again I have to give it to Clouded Minds. I think they've got a really strong draft here. I think that Imperious will be devastating. So that's my vote.
Well, I actually think CCS has the better draft here. Between Ragnaros and Sylvanas, a couple of my favorite heroes anyway. My dog is named after Sylvanas, so I would be wrong to not go that way. But I think they have the macro down, even without a lava wave.
I can definitely see it. So as we jump in, we're going to zoom out here a little bit, play with the camera. On the left-hand side, we have Clouded Minds, Double Dam on that Johanna, Stark Knight on that Lucio. Everyone's running around the map. Weenus on that Rainer, Swing on that Junkrat, and Tiger on that Imperious.
And over here for Can't Counterpick Stupid, we have Osprey on Lunara, Madathi on that's a Stukov, Silma on Sylvanas, Valkymer on Stitches, shout out to Valk's mom, and Deathshade on Ragnaros. That's Clouded Mind. Let's see how this goes.
We are seeing once again the teams just jumping up, trying to pick that all-important soak. And while we do that, let's take a look at these talents. We've got Burn the Impure, very standard for Imperious, 2.5% of the hero's maximum health. You know who's really thick? Stitches.
Yeah, and Ragnaros is a thick boy too.
He is a thick boy, so we'll see if he can get a lot of damage done. It depends on how aggressive Tiger wants to be. But come on, he's an Imperious Sonya player. Is he aggressive? Yes.
Absolutely. Now down to the bottom lane, we do have a 2v1 coming in on the Ragnaros. Ragnaros using the conveyors to his advantage to get away. Jimmy the large minion, Raynor getting in that extra damage. As Imperious, like you said, nailing that spear and nailing Ragnaros to the wall with it.
Oh, danger is coming out. Ragnaros, don't be there. Sorry.
Right, go back in your hole, Rag. Wait for Major Domo Executus to come get you.
Oh man, Tiger is not playing around as Silma jumps up to try and get that soak, and Tiger says, "Get out of here!" Another stab.
Spear.
Oh my goodness!
Wow. I need to talk to Tiger after this game.
Oh, just the casual 2v1.
That was the Imperious play is absolute dominant.
Yeah, I agree. Got the glow. I don't think that they tapped. I could be wrong.
No,
I was looking at Ragnaros.
Do see an early med camp coming from Clouded Mines. They're gonna go and pick it up. They're gonna put that on Junkrat of all people, who's gonna be farthest out of the fight most likely. Lucio Bustio carrying the turret, dropping them beads as they go to get their siege camp as well. And Raynor bullying out Valk on Stitches. Interesting that anyone could be afraid of that haircut.
Definitely, we're seeing Clouded Mines going ahead to pick up their siege camp up here in the top lane. All 4 members, it looks like they wanted to push this top lane, but have since decided that it might be better to look at the objective. So Stitches, excuse me, going for a hook and a miss, and now everybody is just trying to posture as that control point becomes unlocked.
Yeah. And like you said, they are posturing. I like to say they're posturing in the hallway, calling each other names, but no one ready to throw a punch. It's just like high school, you know?
Yeah, definitely. We see CCS coming up to clear out that siege camp really quickly. They didn't pick their own up, so this is just extra time. They're going to have to be away from the objective. We see Sylvanas' black arrows come out, trying to get one of those towers down. However, they only grab the one, and Johanna is sitting pretty on that point.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. The level 1 for Lunara is the Wisp, which is there's a lot of open space here, so it's kind of an awkward level 1 situation for Lunara in general, but that lets her put this Wisp here in this bush underneath the med camp to still see everything that she needs to, and whereas the poison damage vision lets her see who she's trying to kill. I thought it was an interesting use of the Wisp during this objective period. We are now in overtime on the point, as both teams looking at about half in general. Sylvanas pumping out a lot of damage on Venus. Venus full of poison damage. Is he going to stay alive? He's sitting in the medic camp. His bar is still full yellow. There goes the amp it up from Lucio, and now all of Clouded Mines is alive. But Ragnaros fell during that fight. Imperious going to fall. The Eye of the Tiger is left laying on the point away from the rest of his body as that spear just stabs through him from Lunara, where the Dryad hunting the Predator.
Not the end of the world, however. They do have that 99%. They were fouled low, but so was Clouded Mines. Looks like, can't counterpick, stupid. Both teams going to grab their
Turret camps.
Turret camps, thank you. I couldn't think of what it was called. I had a massive brain fart there. And now Clouded Mines looking to get back on that point, reclaim it. Osprey scouting out the team. Double Dam trying her best to get that darn Wisp, but it's so fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And Joanna just has short little arms, not really able to reach out very far. Double Dam taking a lot of damage. There goes the Iron Skin. We do see the Amp It Up come out with the reverse amp from Star Knight. Star Knight trying to stay in the middle of his team, staying on those walls to get a push off. Weenus gets pulled in or something by the Stitches. Joanna gonna fall first, but Stitch is gonna fall as well. Both tanks are gone. Tiger looking low. The Pustule getting detonated from Stukov, trait value to finish off the Imperious, and that's gonna let them follow up with Lucio and Raynor. That's a 4-for-1 on that fight, and they took the point late and held it. They get the first protector.
Really nicely done, and now we see that black arrows coming out from Sylvanas. This fort should go down rather quickly. It can't defend itself while the team respawns, and it doesn't look like we're going to put too much priority onto the well. I believe the minions will pick that up. Out comes the Condemned to clear those, and we see this Punisher heading top.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm surprised that they went mid first, because the meta says, and I would agree, not because it's what the meta says. I feel like I did this before the meta, but enough about me. What about you? You normally take the first protector up to the top lane to get rid of at least that health fountain, because you want the advantage going into the next objective as well. And if you get rid of that health fountain, then they had to fall back even farther and are out of the fight longer when they get worn down going into the objective.
Of course, we do manage to see can't counterpick stupid, grab that health out. And the keep isn't, or the fort, excuse me, isn't looking that well either. So we're just going to see the team
No, it's
back
not.
off. They get the whole use of the Punisher, which is really amazing. But down here in the bottom lane, T-Tours once again, excuse us, Tiger is just dunking on Deathshade. Ragnaros falls yet again.
Yeah, absolutely. Ragnaros, again, yelling too soon as he falls away to the Imperius. Imperius, just a blaze of glory right now. So with that protector, they got that middle fort. That's going to be huge for them, and I would expect that to swing well into this game, especially because we won't really see a whole lot of action in the middle lane for another 10 minutes or so before we get another protector at that midpoint. So that's going to get a lot of value. Like I said, I was surprised that they went for it first, but because they succeeded and got the health fountain top, I expect it to be a big swing for them.
Should be really difficult. We'll see what Clouded Minds can do to make this easier for them. We have hit level 10 on both heroes, and one thing I want to point out is this Wrath of Angiris not going for the shield on the Imperius. He's looking to make the team a 5v4 and hopefully suplex one of the members of Can't Counterpick Stupid into the team where they can blow him up. We have your standard Hyperion, Riptire, Blessed Shield, Sound Barrier, and then looking pretty standard on the side of
we do see Gorge though, which that's a bold move, Cotton.
Oh no, poor Ragnaros. He can't catch a break this game. He's doing his best. He will go down, however. Flailing Swipes comes out, as does Hyperion. However, Lucio gets Gorge. Venus helping him on a little further. Stark Knight is going to go ahead and go down. It's a 1-for-1 in the middle lane.
Lucio does get gorged. I'm surprised Wrath of Angiris came out for the pick. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised as aggressive as he plays. But I think he picked Wrath after Stitches picked Gorge. And so between Wrath, Blessed Shield, we have Riptire and Junkrat bomb already. That it's just going. It's all, I think, a counter to the Gorge to prevent any one person being separated from their team, and also a way to kind of counter engage and disrupt. Can't counterpick stupid. We do see the Lava Wave getting used already in the bottom lane, and the very uncommon pick of Mind Control coming from Sylvanas.
I hadn't even noticed that. That's an excellent point. And one thing else, while we're looking at these talents, everybody kind of feeds for that second, feeds into that top second objective. We have Lava Wave build on Ragnaros. Now, I'm no Ragnaros expert, but I've seen this a couple of times. Is this the meta? Like, this is the 4th or 5th time that I've seen it.
So Blast Wave is not the meta, at least in like solo play. But I feel like Blast Wave has the most value in organized like comms play, because what Blast Wave does is it means Ragnaros, in theory, as
Johanna, oh no!
Stitches, yeah, Stitches, Johanna. Stitches pulls Johanna, gets the Gorge. Double Dam not able to Iron Skin anywhere in there until she's already behind the wall, not able to get out. But we do see the Wrath of Angiris going to pick up the Sylvanas. Sylvanas getting pulled over. Stitches grabs Lucio. Sylvanas going to get away from the Hyperion. Yes, she does. She gets the trait from Stukov. Sound Barrier coming out. Ragnaros looking a little low. Going to get some help from Stukov. There goes the weighted pustule onto Venus. Venus going to get slowed down. Lunara going to jump over, but Stitch is going to fall into the pile of gross mess that he is. Venus trying to stay alive. Star Knight doing a good job keeping him up. They're going to overcome the poison. So Blast Wave. If you do that, so you get the slow at level 4, you get the area and damage at level 1. Level 13 gives a shield to you for survivability. At level 16, he'll get double. He'll get an echo that he gets no matter who he targets. So if your Stitches is trying to engage or has a Gorge, you put the Blast Wave onto your tank. You generally put Blast Wave onto your tank and let your tank do all of your damage for you. And then I usually go different level 7, but this one is good damage. I like the cooldown on Q so I can heal more as long as I'm hitting 2 heroes, and I can be in the fight a little bit better. But so the idea of the Blast Wave is area control again, a little bit heavier damage, more reliable damage because you can tell your tank you're doing it, and they'll stay in and they won't see a big red circle and run away.
Very fair. Well, we learned a lot about Ragnaros today. It sounds like, okay, so it is the correct choice if you were going in 5v5, talking to everybody on comms. Nice.
I think it's the better choice here, yes.
Alrighty. So, we do have that second objective live now. Raynor is in Valkymer's stomach right now. He is going to go down, but not before he gets a chance to drop the Hyperion. Out.
Stukov amazingly staying alive, gets that Blast Wave with that movement speed to get the Stukov out. Stukov running out, gonna stay alive with just under 400 health now, as Can't Counterpick Stupid does bully Clouded Minds out. They do have the 5v4 right now. Clouded Minds got to be careful about their engage, as the 5-man does have most of their health. Stukov looking a little low, but he's gonna stay in the back, and we do get a disengage out of Clouded Minds.
All right, it looks like this should go over to Can't Counterpick Stupid. Clouded Minds is backing up, looking to do something else. We can see Junkrat and Imperius looking to go and soak some waves. Junkrat in the bottom. I think that's very smart because with the... don't think they have Ripper Air yet, but with the bomb... the mine, they should be able to get back to the mid lane fairly easily. And meanwhile, Venus Tiger just cleaning up that middle lane, trying to get 16 so they can maybe look for a fight. Doesn't look they're going to get one on this Punisher, but they should be able to fight behind it right about now.
Yeah, that Punisher does come live. We see the big boys in there, which you got to wonder, how is there room for both of those those thick boys?
Oh no, Venus taking so much damage. He gets pushed into the wall. It is a big, thick, chunky control room in that Punisher.
Tiger misses the Wrath of Injurious. I don't know if you saw that, but he went for it. His ult is on cooldown. It did get dodged successfully by whoever it was he was trying to go for, which that is also unclear. Double Dam in danger, getting slowed down by the Ragnaros, and the Meteor coming in for her, the spicy meatball trying to catch her. And she loses a lot of health, has to back out. The Triglon Protector does fall. It gets that top fort and the walls to that keep. So that is a very exposed and afraid keep right now.
Definitely.
And we're the bottom fort's about to fall to minions.
Oh no, it's two. Tiger is stuck. He's stuck in the silence. He's going to go down. Nothing he can do to aggress his way out of that one. And with the 4v5, it looks like Clouded Minds is going to have to back up and give this turret camp over to Can't Counterpick Stupid, which they claim lightning fast. And now it's on Clouded Minds to make a move.
I want to know what Can't Counterpick Stupid's coach said in the locker room in between games.
It's completely different. It's almost like the teams have reversed themselves. Weenie's taking a little bit of damage from the Stitches, has to back up, and they are looking to try and grab this bottom keep fort. They should be able to do. Valkymer missing that point blank hook. Feels bad, but a nice mind control onto Swing. Double Dam pops the Iron Skin just enough to get away. Out comes the Sound Barrier. Stitches, however, does fall during that time. A lot of damage just freely going onto him. Nobody was really harassing the back line.
Yeah, I think Valkymer was just really surprised because normally with that close, you would expect a Raynor to try to dodge the oncoming hook that he knows is coming, but this is Venus that we're talking about, so he ends up not dodging. Instead, really a big brain move there overall. It does result in Stitch's death. There's a reason Venus's name is in all caps.
Galaxy Brain play. You can't predict my juke if I don't. Moving up, that is going to be the turret going over to Clouded Minds, and it looks like they might be gaining a little bit of headway in this. They traded 1 for 1, not the end of the world, and now Clouded Minds is looking to pick up this this medic camp, which should support camp. I couldn't think of what it was called. I am just all over the place. I'm so hyped for this game. They'll have
it's okay. So is Can't Counterpick Stupid, as they are in the bottom lane and the middle lane. They have that camp pushing top lane, while Clouded Minds is all together. They do get that biotic emitter from the support camp, and they're trying to regroup while Can't Counterpick Stupid is pushing their advantage really well.
looks like they're coming down to clear out this wave proxy a little bit, so there's a lot of pressure coming on to that bottom keep where that next protector will be, and they might just be looking for the keep right here. They're trying to take down that fountain so the team can't get it, and it looks like they're actually just going to take some shots from the fort and then back off back to the objective. Meanwhile, Clouded Minds was able to pick up that siege camp, so it should get some D-push in the top lane, and 18 to 20. I don't know what Clouded Minds should do here. I don't know if
they need to soak. They've got to soak. Now, granted, all of Can't Counterpick Stupid is up top. Maybe one of them branches off to go start the objective, but really, they need level 20s. You don't see competitive play like this intentionally engage down a talent tier. And you know I love talent tiers. They are the tastiest of tiers. So you really want to get them. And this level 20 is going to be very important for Clouded Minds.
However, Clouded Minds does have 3 items, and that's a 20 in itself. You've got 2 bonus damage items. You've got a nice big heal. They are level 19, and neither team is going for the objective. I'm kind of confused why Can't Counterpick Stupid hasn't decided to go for it. They look like they want to push onto these keeps before stepping up, but they're just giving level 20 the opportunity.
There's the Wrath of Injurious onto the Stitches. Stitches coming back into the back lane in ample opportunity to gorge. A rough pick, picking up the tank, and so Sylvanas does take out Raynor instead. Jimmy the large minion contributing to the experience count. You will be remembered. We do see Lava come out to clear top, and now that we have a clear 5v4 for Counterpick Stupid, it looks like they are going to go down into that objective.
Clouded Mind really just needs to soak and back off. They need to use the keep to defend them. They can't defend the keep with themselves. If they lose somebody here, that's detrimental. You're just putting yourself in an easier game over position. However, if you lose the keep, there's still an opportunity. And it looks like Double Dam stepping up to do exactly that. Mind Control comes out and hits her, though. However, Tiger is out for blood on Death Shade. He's coming. He gets gorged by Valkymer, and it looks like they're just trying to split the team so poor Death Shade can live. But Tiger's angry now. He wants him.
Getting that percentage damage going, looking for that level 20 soon will also just help him shred the Stitches. Death Shade barely staying alive from that Riptide. The Riptide knocked him sideways instead of backwards, so a sigh of relief, maybe a little steam bath for Ragnaros to get some to get relaxed after that. And really, so Clouded Minds played that mostly well right there. They were down the talent tier, which now they have it. They were down a person, and they were able to not only stay alive there, but push Can't Counterpick Stupid back. But now Can't Counterpick Stupid has the protector.
And they have Stitches and Stukov in it with all their damage dealers out there looking to potentially end the game with this protector. It's up to Clouded Minds to make the play here. Tiger does a great amount of damage onto the protector. Hyperion is dropped. Ragnaros picked up once again. Mind Control comes out, but Tiger says, I don't give a shit. I'll 1v9 y'all. Comes
there
out.
He goes. Rather than gears on to Ragnaros. Ragnaros going to fall. Poor little fire elemental, fire lord rather.
Oh gosh.
Going down, padding the stats for Weenus, because we know that's all that he really cares about is getting their stats. No, that's not true. Weenus is a good guy. He's trying to spread the love, but the best way to do that is by spreading XP across his team. The protector going into the mid lane, trying to get that keep, but then falling back as Clouded Minds does rotate with it quite successfully, and Ragnaros is not on the map to contribute to his team right now.
Great job by Tiger picking off that Ragnaros. The team has to play a little bit more safely, and this Punisher hasn't really done much. It's walking around. It's picked up the minions, so the teams can't really engage outside of their base. But aside that, with Tiger threatening so much here, he's just going in and look, runs past the protector, misses the spear, but they are able to pick up Lunara, and now Silma is running for their life. Stark Knight is keeping on top of him. It's so hard to run away from a Lucio, booping him away. She's trying to stay by that turret, gets pushed back onto the Lucio and goes down.
Like get over the wall, ends up on the treadmill. Oh, that's just hard to watch as for a Sylvanas. But look at the CC timers on both the supports, really. Stukov having almost 500 seconds of CC. Now, most of that is silence time, I believe. A lot of that can come from his weighted pustule as well, because it's a little bit of a sleep. But Lucio, with that reverse amp, getting a lot of sleep time out, almost 800 seconds, slowing the enemy team. There goes Razventurus again from the Imperius, gonna get out of that tower range and move Stitches with him. Stitches all alone. That level 20 from Imperius just shredding all of Stitches' health. That's 7.5% of Stitch's health per auto attack once he's been hit with all 3 abilities. Huge play coming out of Tiger, and this cat does have claws. And now it's a 5v3 right now as Sylvanas is looking at coming back alive in just a few seconds.
Fighting is just going to prove detrimental for CCS at this point. They have a really strong objective lead. They just need to avoid Clouded Minds as much as they can. It's proven time and time again at level 20. Tiger is online. That brand of Solarian does not remove the Valorous brand and reduces its cooldown to 5 seconds. He's on top of Stitches, of Ragnaros, on even squishy heroes like Lunara and Sylvanas can't hold up to his might, and meanwhile the rest of the team is just there to follow up. Weenus with that ace in the hole doing extra damage to those spears and slows. Double Dam with her incredible Blessed Shields coming out, and I just don't understand what the point of fighting is for Can't Counterpick Stupid. They need to try and push. They've got the Sylvanas, they've got the Rag, they can control the map, stay out of the fight. That's what they need to do to win this.
Absolutely. However, their buildings are non-existent. They've got 2 keeps with no health. All Lunara has to do is look at them. Sylvanas can show up and do it. I think Lunara did take the level 4, yes, Nature's Culling. So that's a lot of increased damage to those keeps. Those will fall over.
Right, and that's
if
what I'm
anybody shows
saying.
up.
They need to look at the buildings, blow those up, and then look at the core. That is how Can't Counterpick Stupid is going to win this. If they continue looking for these fights, see, Blessed
There's the
Shield
mind
comes
control
out.
on the Tiger, not gonna last long enough. Sylvanas going down. Hyperion goes out as well. That's 3 ultimates out for both teams. There's a flailing swipe. His doesn't count anymore because it's got a reduced cooldown. But Sylvanas being dead, we do see Molten Core come out for Ragnaros. This is the first time I've really noticed it being used.
I
as
don't
Double
think
Dam
it's
does
been
fall to
used.
medium. You've seen it?
I haven't. I think this is the very first Molten Core
Oh.
of the game. There hasn't really been a need to use it, which I can understand, except for
No.
maybe fighting underneath a broken keep.
Right. I love seeing aggressive offensive Molten Cores. You get the Protector, you take the fort, you Molten Core on top of it. Stitches is going to fall again. Lots of heavy damage coming from the Rainer and the Imperius. So 2 for 1 for Clouded Minds, but Clouded Minds not really, I mean, they've got a lot to push through. This is the 4th Protector, and everyone says you're supposed to win on or before the 4th Protector. If you use 5, the game's gone too long. I had a 7 Protector game just the other day. I don't know how that happened, but
7?
yeah.
What were they doing? Dancing?
Well, the 5th Protector died at spawn because the winning team of the objective lost the fight, and the 6th Protector, I think, was to wear through and make room for the 7th.
Makes sense. We are seeing Clouded Minds going back and clearing up. 20 seconds on Stitches with 57% on the objective. CCS should look to maybe potentially fight. However, it's Tiger on there, and you can see they're so terrified. They don't want to get speared. We saw how quickly Sylvanas melted in that last fight.
And keep in mind, while this Protector will be strong, if the Protector goes over, we got a Lava Wave coming through mid. That mid keeps about to fall to these minions that are walking in right now. Junkrat might be able to clear them all. Maybe? Not going to do it. That keeps going to fall. And so if they can clear this Protector, CCS is in a really good position to just stall for the win.
All right, halfway point on the Protector's health roughly, but look at 25 minutes. That Protector is just chunking through forts and towers. One punch decimates a tower. About 3 of them will get rid of a fort. However, it's taken so much damage from the opposing team, it is just going to have to go ahead and back off.
That Protector is done so.
Yeah, like you said, clearing, and now it's just looking to do some bonus damage.
And Junkrat's back at base clearing out minions.
It bought time, and that's what's important. Swing was able to go back and clear. Looks like we might see a little bit of a fight. Out comes the offensive Ragnaros fort, like you were hoping. Oh no,
and the
Tiger!
Rapid Gears interrupted. He's gonna die for it. it did go on a 10-second cooldown. He didn't get it fully off. There's the Gorge under the Hyperion. Jimmy Large Minion Rainer getting to see what his Hyperion looks like from below as Ragnaros finishes him off and then comes out of Molten Core. Ragnaros really getting his opportunity for revenge here because he had been bullied all game and now really making good offensive use of his trait and skills. And it looks like CCS is going to be able to finish up here. And I don't know about you, but there's nothing I love more in NGS than a Game 3.
It's about time. I don't know if any of you have been watching my last series, but we've been having a staggering amount of 2-0s. We are going to a game number 3. I'm very excited to see it.
I think I went a week and a half or 2 weeks without a Game 3.
It's been a very long time. I know my past couple of weeks, I haven't been able to get a Game 3. Oh, that's the draft screen. I hit the wrong one. Which one is he?
I think Ragnaros
oh gosh, I'm on the wrong button.
Taking Lava Wave actually did make the difference in that game because he has sufficiently more XP. He got his team moving on ahead. Now, granted, they hit level 10s first. So the overall soak was still there. They were winning the fights. They took that first protector. Imperia is still just an absolute destructor on the battlefield. Honestly, I still think Tiger gets MVP of that game, even though he was on the losing team.
I really agree. Tiger is playing out of his mind, and both teams doing a really nice job. I mean, Madathi with those follow-up stunts, Osprey doing a ton of damage. Can't Counterpick Stupid played a really solid game. Their late game was a little bit rough just because Imperius could dive on and kill somebody before Stukov could even get the pustules spreading around, which really is a struggle. But I mean, you look at the teams, Venus 77k, that's no number to sneeze at. Osprey just ahead of him with 78k. On poison damage, I think is really difficult to get high numbers since you don't really get the chance to kill opponents. You can just kind of make them back out as your damage comes later.
Right, but at the same time, poison damage is easier to heal up. I feel like a poison damage hero it's really hard to judge the damage numbers on. Even when it's high, I feel like they can be easily manipulated or easily under misrepresentative. Like so, either the poison had a huge impact or it had none at all. You know what I mean?
Right, it's the case of you want your damage now or later. Most people want their damage now, which is why you pick up somebody like a Rainer. We're going to switch over to the talents here so everybody can take a look at what we've got. We have heroic difficulty for Death Shade on that Ragnaros, despite the fact that we only saw 2 Molten Cores, but I guess that's all they really needed. Very nicely done by them. We didn't get a great chance to talk about level 20s. Dark Lady's Call from Sylvanas. We don't see that very often.
Well, you don't see mind control very often to begin with.
That's a fair point.
I think mind control is actually a good pick here because someone once, now granted, I think Wailing Arrow is generally the better pick. And someone said, yeah, well, you can either silence all 5 or just silence one person. But what mind control does is it's also hard CC and moves them towards you away from the rest of their team, so it gets that separation, which is what I think they needed here above and beyond the silence.
They did a really great job of isolating the team members so Imperius couldn't follow up, so Johanna couldn't protect, and I really commend that. Looking at the game, as you mentioned, we're going to go ahead and jump over to the maps really quickly. I had to check of my internet, and it doesn't look like it's strong enough to continue the stream. So we'll just keep on recording, and we'll post it all for you guys later. So I will update the maps. We're going to game number 3. What would you like to see for game number 3, Taco?
Towers of Doom.
Towers of Doom, that's a great place to end a series.
We had a heroic game, game 3, Towers of Doom. I believe it was indeed 1-1.
I always like Tower. I think it's a great place to end the series. I think you can do a lot with a good, strong Towers of Doom game. It shows the best of everything. You get your sick team fights. You get your objective pressure, your tower pressure, your macro. It's just kind of a culmination of everything a good Heroes of the Storm player should do in one map.
Absolutely. It's the macro, especially because of how spread out it can get. So you want those really solid team fights, but you also want pressure everywhere. And it's also a discipline map because you want to push top, you want to push mid, but if you leave bottom lane, you lose.
Of course, it's one of those things. Sylvanas is really OP right here. You take that bottom fort, you hold it. That's kind of just the end of the game. There's not a whole lot most teams can do to really get back that fort outside of a 5-man team wipe in the late game, because if the team spawns early enough, then they can still protect the towers with those tower changes. I want to touch on the map super quickly here once again so everybody can see. We haven't gotten the opportunity to do so as we've just kind of been going, and with the stream issues. Once again, it was a Cursed Hollow ban from...
It is Towers of Doom!
Oh, it is Towers of Doom! Very nice!
Oh yeah, you were talking about the bans.
I was talking about the ban. So yes, once again, Cursed Hollow banned out by Clouded Minds, as is... Dragonshire, which... No, not Dragonshire. I'm sorry.
Spidershire.
Spidershire, that's right. And then Braxis and Sky Temple banned away by... Can't counterpick stupid. It looks like I have that incorrect on the screen, so I will fix that. I don't know why. It says Cursed Hollow and Tomb of the Spider Queen right here. Why is it Dragonshire ban? Cursed Hollow, Sky Temple... Oh, I have Sky Temple banned twice. That's why it is. So we need Braxis holdout. I'm going to hop over to us super quickly. Hello, everybody. Here we are as we wait to get into the Towers of Doom game.
So...
There we go.
That match I was telling you about.
Yes.
It was a heroic game. It was game 3. It was 1-1, and Garrosh throws a sapper over the deadline.
Oh no. There is an old HGC game, if you remember that old thing. I don't remember which teams it was. I want to say it was like Dignitas versus somebody else. It was an EU game.
Yeah.
And oh, it looks like we have a opportunity to cast the final game of the night.
Yep. We would need to get them into our Discord call.
Yeah, we could do that. That would change our cameras, but
well, no, it shouldn't change the Oh, it would change your source a little bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'd have to move it over. Really quick, I want to talk about this HGC game. They had a Tyrael on their team. They were defending. It was the last 3 shots of the game. Tyrael Sanctify, so the team can fight at the edge of the death zone on the defending team. But the problem with that is Sanctification makes you incorporeal. So instead of fighting the heroes and throwing bombs at them, they just walk through and ended the game, and it was the most devastating thing I've ever seen.
Oh, because it was sappers right there.
Yeah, it was sappers.
Oh no!
Yeah, the sappers just walked through and ended the game, and everyone was like, "Wait, what the heck?"
We can't attack these guys. Okay. Oh man. Oh, that's rough. But then again, I saw it was an LCS game, but I've seen Winions in professional play, so
yeah, they're rough. It looks like we're just waiting for everybody to get all squared away. Big shouts to Odd Thought for picking up so he can kind of observe for us. We'll have to log on to his observe, which I think is O. We can see what they are looking at. And I'll see if he wants to go ahead and get in on this call, and we'll just end cameras for the evening. Just so he can understand what we are doing. We're waiting for everybody to go ahead and be ready again. So sorry for the delays, everyone. There's a big storm out here right now. It's knocked at the power. I've got 1 megabyte upload speed. It's god awful.
That's better than what I have out here usually.
Oof.
Yeah,
Usually it's like 40, and like the last month it's been like 3 max.
Yeah, the move did not do good things for my upload speed, but it did good things for my life, and so that just kind of wins out, you know?
Definitely. We're waiting to see.
But we're getting fiber soon? A couple, maybe less than 2 years?
That should be nice, or like like nice fiber. I wish I had fiber. I've got very expensive internet right now, which I'm gonna have to talk to them about because it ain't doing it, Chief. You know.
Yeah, if you lodge the complaint, you should be able to get prorated this time.
Right. Okay. You have disappeared. I don't know why. Please.
I have.
Yes, you've disappeared off of my slide. I think it's from mine. The whole stream is just falling apart. I'm going to switch over to the draft screen while we wait, or the in-game lobby stream while we wait, just to try and save us some time. We're ready. Ready? Are they waiting on us? Nobody has said anything.
Yeah.
I don't understand how I thought is going to record us.
I guess he'll just be broadcasting the last game, but he won't hear us unless he's in a call. So that's
I didn't.
Yeah. What we can do, you said you killed cameras, right?
I have killed cameras so far.
Let's just go to a casting lobby because it's locked over in the NGS server.
I can definitely do that.
All right.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Let me let them know.
And now let's just get Odd Thought and
Okay, well, I just lost my message as we swapped over. So I'm going to swap the broadcast over to the Heroes Draft. All right, we are back out of that stinger into the draft now. So, once again, waiting for Odd Thought so we can get in on this. Okay, what happened?
Uh-oh, that's fun. We have a disconnect. It is Tiger.
We need to hear what that is. I don't know if it was maybe the teams got messed up. We didn't get to hear who.
There was no ban, I believe, so
nope.
Nothing's locked in for the draft.
Drop and reform. This whole match is just a mess. What a shame. I'm gonna pull OBS back up. We are waiting in the lobby once again.
All right, we do have our observer as well now, so that'll be great. You can kind of just sit back and relax and press that like 1 or 2 button or whatever once you find his camera. And then he'll just, I guess, follow along with what we're yelling about.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Odd Thought. We appreciate it. Like I said, there's a big storm going on right now, which is destroying my internet. So we appreciate you very much.
Yep. Thanks for showing up.
Hey, guys. What round is this, by the way?
This is round 3.
Oh, no, wait. It's round 12 flex match, though, right?
Oh, I have no idea.
Between these two teams, I think it is.
Yeah. That one I'm struggling with a little. I haven't been able to keep them on the rounds. We've been posting. I've just been posting by the week. This is their last match, I think.
Okay.
So we'll see. So we are ready to go. We will have that stinger once again, and then from there we will be able to just jump into the draft and hopefully have a nice clean game so everybody can at least see the last game of the evening. And once again, this is being recorded, so you guys can catch it. Of course, if you're hearing this, you're watching the recording.
Woo! And it's Towers of Doom, the best Game 3 map there is, because, well, everybody hates it.
I just realized we're already on the draft screen, so we won't have to see that stinger anymore. Once again, thanks to This Is Covey for making that for us. We appreciate you very much. And we're just waiting for the players to get in. Hopefully Tiger doesn't disconnect this time. Self-banned right out of the gate. Get her out of here. We're not dealing with that black arrows on this particular map.
Right, absolutely. Again, while the altars are the primary way of dealing damage to the core, this is a pushing map. Regardless of what anybody else tells you, this map is all about lane control.
Definitely. It's about lane control, and it's about if you're able to grab those sappers. So sappers are one of the most important key parts of the game. The bans going by relatively quickly. Li Ming banned away. Lunara taken out as well. She was just too big of an issue in that last game to deal with.
Yep, interested to see what the next ban is, because it can't be Sonya and Imperious.
I would like to see either one of those. I think Tiger is doing a phenomenal job this game. However, I would also like to see if it could be one of the meta picks like Johanna, ETC, and it is actually going to be that Anduin, not letting Stark Knight get that value he did in game number 1.
Yeah, Star Knight is a really strong Anduin, absolutely putting that on display during game 1. His Lucio really strong as well, and this map has some really good rotations available too, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Lucio come out. I think we're going to see Blaze coming out early. But there's the Joanna for double dam. Never mind, make a fool out of me. I was right on who was going to pick though.
Definitely, Johanna. She is the number 1 tank in the game. I've said it a million times. I think she is doing a phenomenal job. Double Dam is playing her well. We'll have to see what she can do on a much smaller map this time around.
And ETC coming out with Kael'thas. Katie making another showing, this time on the other team. ETC, really strong presence overall. We see the top 2 tanks in the league coming out, facing off. It's definitely going to be fun to watch, that's for sure.
I'm
really
excited to see.
Teams.
This is the first time in a very long time that we've seen the number 1 and number 2 tanks in the game. Usually one of them gets banned away. Raynor and Stukov coming out. Stukov this time for Star Knight. And Raynor should have an easy time capitalizing on Stukov's damage if he goes that ace in the hole, as we saw last game. Also, the long-range autos will be good for Poke.
Mm-hmm. And yes, Jimmy the large minion Raynor coming in, also able to see, he's the only minion that can actually capture an objective.
Yeah? I mean, I think he's a little bit better than a minion. That's just my opinion. Imperious ban for Counterpick stupid. They don't want to deal with it.
Does that mean we get to see the Urel? I want to see the Urel.
It is a Leoric ban, so it could be Urel for
Tiger.
Is it for Tiger? Because it's been it's been Clouded Minds that have been banning the Urel.
Wait, Clouded Mind's been banning the Urel?
I believe so.
Well, I give up then. Deathshade is already picked, but Deathshade picked Kael'thas, so I imagine we'll see some role swapping here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is the Urel for Osprey?
Space Goat, coast to coast, coming in for Towers of Doom, game number 3, and Whitemane, the sadistic witch.
Alrighty, Whitemane players, I've always said they have the ability and the advantage of playing Whitemane, being the only person in the game that understands how she works. And so, of course, it makes it very difficult for the other members of the enemy team to understand, how do we really counter this? Because nobody in their right mind plays Whitemane except a select crazy few. Malthael... and Jaina coming out for the side of Clouded Minds. And I'm excited to see what Tiger does on this one. I mean, we got the last right. It's just, LOL, you're dead.
It is, but Whitemane.
I don't know if Whitemane's damage can deal with 40% of your missing maximum health as damage. Her damage is kind of slow, and it depends on how much she can do with ETC and Yrel in the back line and a Johanna Malthael on the front line of Clouded Minds. Will she be able to get in there and do damage? That remains to be seen.
And this is the first Tassadar we've seen of the match. Tassadar, fairly popular hero after the rework. I feel like he's very underwhelming, but other people have said that he's oppressive. So, I don't know. He doesn't have a mouth, so we can't ask him. But here we are going into Towers of Doom. I'll go ahead and run down. We got Raynor on with Weenus, Joanna being played by Double Dam, Stukov by Star Knight, Jaina by Swing, and Malthael by Tiger for Clouded Minds. And it's an interesting draft.
Yeah, I really like the Clouded Minds draft. Over on the right-hand side, we're going to lose their name, so I'll have to list it from the other side as they spawn in. It is Marathi on that Whitemane, Valkymer on the ETC, Osprey on that Yrel, Selma on the Tassadar, and our lovely Deathshade is the KT.
We do see the Mecha Tassadar skin and mount. I think that's technically one of the banned skins, but it has no impact on the game other than I mean, it's some visual things maybe. It doesn't affect the outcome if it goes through, just the other team has the option of saying we want to remake with a non-banned skin.
Definitely. I believe they have 3 minutes to say something, and then the game continues as normal. It is up to the captains to pause and say something, so we're just going to go ahead and cast the game. As always, the 5-man team fight comes out. Double Dam, who is missing a little bit of health, gets walled in, has to Iron Skin away. Minions are cleared. It's time for the teams to leave the middle lane.
Absolutely. We do see the 1v1 up in the top, and Osprey is going to be the Yrel player. There is no role swap. So we have the standard one-man double soak with the 4v4 in the bot lane, which is what we would expect coming into Towers of Doom, as the bot lane is the controlling factor.
Definitely. Now that the minions have been cleared out in the bottom lane, it looks like everybody's just going to kind of hang back, and the double soak game is on for the mid laners. Team stepping up to grab their camps. We're going to see an invade by Can't Counterpick Stupid. Weenus relatively low, but the wall comes out. Are they going to be able to hold on to this? Valkymer is in the bush, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and just give up on that.
So I think the drafts are fairly even. I think there's more disrupt on CCS, but I think there's a but I think the damage is more pressing from Clouded Minds. So I think, and this is gonna be a very odd way to predict this, but I think the team that wins is whoever tank is mounted more.
That is an excellent point. I'm excited to see if that's the case. We see Stukov come out, getting a nice silence onto the damage dealers of Can't Counterpick Stupid. A nice slide by ETC, though, however. He knocks back Weenus and Double Dam, but the team focuses on a Double Dam. Being a Johanna, she gets out relatively free. Weenus loses a little bit of health, but with that adrenaline rush, able to heal up, no problem. And Clouded Minds is just trying to push really hard into this bottom lane.
Yeah, we do see the rotations coming in for our off-laners. Looks like Malthael with the On a Pale Horse just ahead on the rotation all around. Almost 1,000 XP lead on Yrel, as he's already going down to get the middle lane. Yrel's just playing catch-up. Doesn't have the wave clear, but definitely has the presence to just stay in there. Malthael coming back up again on the rotation, and going to be a full rotation ahead of the Yrel in XP and clear, as we get a little skirmish down here in the bottom lane.
Low health bars for Clouded Minds means they're gonna have to tap before this bottom fight, and I'd be interested to see what that means for them. We actually do see a couple of taps coming out for Counterpick Stupid as well. So this will be a relatively even fight. Double Dam takes that living bomb, has to back up a little bit. Weena's face checking that crevice, takes a little bit of ETC damage. And Double has just gotten so much damage. Out comes the flare from KT. And
as we would expect, the top laners do trade out altars as we get a 4v4 down here. I would not be surprised to see Malthael rotate down on a Pale Horse to help his team out for this altar, but at the same time, the first altar down here doesn't really have an impact on the game unless, you know, you lose by 4, right?
Right. Weenus goes down, unfortunately. The living bombs being spread to the members of Clouded Minds. They are going to go ahead to have to back up.
Big stun from Valkyrie coming in, pushing Double Dam out into enemy territory and Star Knight away, but Double Dam able to get out. She is a beefy Joanna. And this bottom altar still not getting capped. Weenus is alive and going to rotate back down.
That is the only interrupt that Clouded Minds have. However, Johanna pops the Iron Skin, able to get away. That is going to be 2 altars going over to Counterpick Stupid. And, you know, I think the thing that really bit Clouded Minds in the behind was trying to channel while they were fighting Counterpick Stupid. If you channel while you're fighting, you've put your team in a 3v4 and ultimately made it harder for you to cap.
Big invade from Clouded Minds onto this Sapper camp. They're going to take it, letting CCS do all of the work as Double Dam getting caught behind the wall. Those Sappers are going to get worn out right there, but it looks like Clouded Minds with a 5v3 right now. Joanna down in the bot lane, Malthael still soaking. And you're right, absolutely. If you take the time to channel, now sometimes it works. If you're getting them pushed out, and they may just ignore you, not thinking that you would channel during this fight. But the risk is too great unless it's because, like you said, you're just completely taking yourself out of the fight.
We have the teams in grabbing
no,
those Sappers now. The Sappers were cleared out from that invade, and now it's Clouded Minds looking to try and push these guys in. We'll see if they can do it. There are 4 members ready to defend, and it looks like they're not even going to usher them all the way in.
No, we're probably going to see Malthael and Ural trade altars here and keep the 4v4 in the bot lane. ETC a little bit earlier kind of demonstrating what I was talking about with the tank presence, because that's really what I meant when saying, you know, whichever tank is mounted more. ETC getting a slide through on the squishies in the back line. Valkyrie, though, running out of health, but that electric fence keeping Jimmy the large minion Raynor kept down. Tassadar with the auto attack as well, slowing more. Raynor going to fall before this objective comes up, but again, it's just a trade for the top lane. It's not as impactful, but that push disrupted. And CCS going to counter push instead.
Swing going to go down. Another excellent wall from Silma. I think Clouded Mind is really struggling just because Johanna isn't really stepping up. She's coming in and doing nice peel for her team, but I'd like to see a little bit more aggressive positioning on that Johanna. Step up. It's an ETC. He's got like 3 hit points. Just stun him and kill him. And now level 10's coming out for both teams. I realize that I have not been on the talents at all for the recording, so I'll go ahead and drop those right now.
There we go. As we do see Malthael rotate down, trying to put pressure onto Valkyrie. All of CCS having to back out. There's a living bomb. We see that these next set of altars will just be these bottom 2. And so again, to kind of clarify, when the tank's role here in competitive play is vision and engage, counter engage. So if you're mounted, you're able to get out into a bush, be able to see what you need to see. You're able to get to the back line more than likely. You're just zoning the entire time. And if you're zoning, that means your team's not getting engaged on. Black Hole comes out from the Tassadar in through the wall. Iron Skin comes out. There's the Ring of Frost. It's going to catch the ETC. That is one chilled steak. Put him in the meat locker as the Flailing Spike comes out from Star Knight to keep Double Dam alive. But there, Tiger and Swing getting caught by the Ural. A big hammer stun coming out onto them. Weenus exploding with that living bomb. Going to keep about 2 bars of health alive. The Phoenix wears out from Katie as well. Ardent Defender, Mosh Pit are the only heroics available, and those are both for CCS.
This should be just an exchange here, depending on how long Urel can sustain, unless they go to interrupt. A nice shield glare from Johanna. Tiger doing a ton of damage. KT does fall. Urel, however, able to grab that middle altar and now rotate down. This is a 5v4 on this bottom altar.
Osprey jumping in, pushing back all of the back line away. The mosh pit comes out. It's not going to last very long, but long enough that Mouthfeel is going to fall without having anything to say about it. Racking up a kill for Tassadar there. Osprey jumping in, not afraid of the 4v1 here. Tassadar pushing, getting some of that auto attack damage out onto Double Dam, and ETC sliding back in, beating up Weenus with the hammer, but Stukov, that huge silence, gonna finish off the ETC, not able to heal out of it or get the armor. Ring of Frost stopping the Ural mid-jump, but Jaina and Rainer are gonna fall anyway.
I'm really confused why the fight was taken this way. Star Knight, he's out for blood.
Yeah, I don't understand that fight either, but it was fun to watch.
It was super exciting, and I think both teams did an amazing job. Tiger coming out, he's going to get another fight, and this is still going on. Tiger got no health, but he's coming back, doing as much as he can, and once again, proving why he is the MVP on this team. They chase the team away, and they're actually going to get this altar. In my personal opinion... Continue. What were you saying?
Oh, the last rights going out onto Urel for the kill. Very interesting, especially because Urel did take Ardent Defender, which means she's going to heal up from that huge damage. So he has to hold it. He can't use that ability until after that that heroic goes down for Urel, or he has to use it on someone else. So a very interesting choice. Your opinion?
Urel used the Ardent Defender in the fight. Uh-oh, I have a little bit of a freeze. There we go. All caught up to speed. That storm wreaking havoc on my poor internet. Ardent Defender was used early in the fight. I think that's why Malthael made the decision that it was okay to use it on her, because he knew it wouldn't be up. It's a very long cooldown, just like Mosh Pit. However, what I was going to say is earlier in the fight, both teams had it kind of locked. If Clouded Minds wanted to head and grab the middle altar. Meanwhile, CCS could have taken the bottom, and they could have just traded out. Clouded Minds decided to fight for it, and ultimately they ended up getting it, which is amazing, and I'm very proud of them. Just curious as to why they didn't choose to go for the safe choice.
Yeah, it seemed like a very disjointed fight, really on both sides. Phoenix and the Black Hole going through for CCS, but the Ring of Frost, a really nice Ring of Frost going out. Going to root the Still Dancing Mosh. Last Rites goes out, doesn't take ETC below a quarter health, but it's enough. ETC looks like he's about to fall. Never mind, he's going to stay alive, but Rainer's going to go down. Again, Whitemane knows what Whitemane's doing, but nobody else does, as Urel being super disruptive in the back line. The rest of Clouded Minds, actually. Joanna going to fall as well. ETC coming in back from being really low health, flailing swipe, trying to clear out for his team. Good job, Star Knight, but Malthael still going to fall.
And Clouded Minds has no choice but to go ahead and lick their wounds. CCS not looking the healthiest, but healthier than Clouded Minds, as it's just Jaina and Stukov alive here. And now with those sappers in hand and that altar, they're going to look to take this bottom lane.
Yeah, I think a Blizzard will wipe out those sappers real quick.
Shit.
And the E, no, they both hit. I expected a Blizzard and maybe a Cone of Cold to just drop them. But this Phoenix going to help finish off the tower. Tower's down, and CCS has a very heavy advantage in this map right now.
They do, but luckily for them, this is Towers of Doom. And as long as you've got 1 point and a chair, you can still come back in this game. They did lose that bottom altar, but now a really nice fight taken by Clouded Minds. Whitemane goes down, Ring comes out, doesn't hit anybody. It looks like the last rights came out. And Silma will go down as well. Or sorry, Death Shade will go down. Silma not long for this world. Neither is Weenus. However, he manages to get out of tower range. Hyperion comes down, and this altar phase should go over to Clouded Minds.
What happened to Clouded Minds' health bars early in that fight? Was that just a set of living bombs going off, or what? Because the entire team's health bars just dropped to half.
I was looking at the engage from Clouded Minds, so I don't exactly see. My assumption would be they spread the bomb because they have been doing that. Also, Tassadar does big Protoss damage. So maybe that played into it as well. They did win the fight, however. All members are up, so this should be a good old-fashioned team fight to see who is going to dominate this bottom lane.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will see the trade in the top as again for Malthael and Yrel. Malthael going to get to the fight faster, so he needs to mount up and get down here. Although we do see that it looks like Yrel took Divine Steed, so that might not be the case.
Both teams enter at about the same time. Double taking a ton of damage. Her Divine Iron Skin is down. Out comes the
Mosh Pit, not going to catch anyone. Ring of Frost going to pick up the Tassadar and the Kael'thas, but Jaina going to fall along with ETC. Joanna looking really low in health, but Tassadar going down as well. She is able to engage on him before going down along with Malthael. That's a 3 for 2 so far. Make that 3 for 3. Very even fight. Star Knight with the big arm pushing back the rest of the team. Wien is trying to stay alive. And the slow coming out from Whitemane, it might be enough to catch up. There's the jump from Harley Quinn Space Ghost trying to catch up to Star Knight. And
he's going in! He's insane! He's doing it!
It's like a watch as I blast through my own shields kind of a moment. He is a madman, and a big stun onto Venus. Venus barely staying alive. Huge heals coming out from Star Knight. Also, I think a little bit of self-healing from the Rainer because I don't play him. How does he work? But there's the jump from Osprey. Mana bar is becoming an issue, especially for Star Knight. Whitemane able to keep going for days, it looks like. But here comes the rest of the other teams as they come back from those team fight deaths. Venus alive again. Oh, what a huge trait heal coming out of Stukov. How is he not dead?
Oh, he stays a little bit too long, and Osprey is gonna get the Goomba Stomp onto Jimmy right click. However, the whole team is here and they're much healthier. Out comes the Whitemane Fireball, the Ring of Frost just decimating her. Looks like Tiger very low in the back is going to go down. Looks like even though they had a really wonderful fight, Clouded Mind's going to have to back this one up and seed their Sapper camp, as they do have 3 people go down, excuse me, as opposed to 1.
CCS used 7 ultimates in that fight, or 7 heroics, because of how long that, or rather that objective, how long that altar got drawn out. Which, great job to Clouded Minds for being able to extend the fight that long. But 7 ultimates. Basically everything except for Mosh Pit and Ardent Defender was used twice. Well, not basically, actually. So that, what is that, 8? I can't count. There's the Mosh Pit again, right off of coming off a cooldown. Deep under the fort, but it's going to pick off Stukov anyway. We have a 4v2 push right now.
Sappers coming in. We could see this altar fall once again. Here they go. 1, 2, 3. Yep, it's going down. And now Clouded Minds has to back up and let CCS take what they would like. The whole team is here, though, now. Maybe they can turn it before the altar turns on.
Speaking of taking, Malthael having to go up to that top lane to fend off a huge wave that took about a quarter of that health up there, I think, just judging off the map. Actually, about a third. A lot of damage coming from that wave before Malthael can get up there. And Jaina going to fall right before she can get out of the Phoenix. Tassadar with the finish. Hyperion coming out to try to push him off. And Clouded Mind's in a bit of a pickle right now. What do they do, Jinxie?
They are going to have to let this altar go. I think the most important thing right now is to not die over the bell tower right now, which is exactly what they're doing. They sneak out. Venus with only 120 HP.
I think that's the only way to describe what happened to Venus right there, was that he just didn't die.
He did his best, and that was enough. Now we see the teams trying to step up, clear out this wave so they can get this altar. However, since Clouded Mind isn't really in a position to contest, they only need 1 member to go over on the side of CCS and grab this. Double dam in the back now. Blessed Shield comes out. Star Knight drops the flailing swipes, and they're able to push the team back, make sure nobody dies, but aren't able to get much off of those big ultimate cooldowns.
Yeah, Double Dam gonna go ahead and get topped off. There's nothing to fight over right now. Malthael getting a Sapper Camp pushing top. He's got that pressure going up, distracting Yrel. So it's still 4-man in the bot lane, and he's gonna rotate down. We're gonna get a 5v4 probably, but Yrel also trying to get caught up Looks like Tiger may just be going for pressure because they are down a level. Both teams do have their Storm talent tiers, but it's still looking very heavily in favor of CCS right now.
Definitely. Only seven shots left on the core of Clouded Mines. They aren't able to get this tower back, and it looks like they might lose another 3 if they can not prevent these sappers from being shepherded in. Out comes the Hyperion. Phoenix comes out. Flailing Swipe used, and only 1 sapper remains. It looks like it will be cleared out fairly easily as the team tries really hard to fight with this level 20.
Yeah, we do get a 5v5 in a very dangerous spot. And there goes the Mosh Pit. Ring of Frost coming out. Jimmy going to fall. The unstoppable Tassadar not getting caught by much of anything. Last Rites gets stopped by the Ardent Defender. Stukov getting a good trait value, going back up to half health. There's the silence coming out. It's going to make CCS separate, but Double Dam getting caught with the living bomb and walks over a flame strike. That's going to finish her off. This is going to be another five-shot altar for CCS, and bosses win.
See, Clouded Mines has to run to boss right now, but they're really stuck considering they have to defend the boss and they have to defend these sappers that are being picked up right now. If I was Clouded Mines, I'd just get an early start on this boss. You got to do something. You know they have some rotation time. The 3 members should get it. We see the on my way pings come out, but it's not enough.
Yep.
And now they've really split the team. This could be game. Depends on what the team wants to do, and it looks like they want to fight for this boss. Tiger goes in, gets stunned into the back line. He does his best, however, he immediately goes down, and that's most likely going to be game. Death Shade very low, has to pop that Mana Addict, but the boss is at quarter health, and there's really nothing that Clouded Mines can do to get onto this point.
Jimmy, Large Minion, Rainer coming in to save the day. We see the Ice Block coming out of Jaina. Jimmy might be able to do something here. Star Knight with the waves. There's the there's the black hole to move everybody off. That's a cat for CCS. Coming in with a rough start, gets the reverse sweep over Clouded Mines, and showing why they're one of the top teams in this division.
Definitely. Well done to both teams. They played their hardest. In the end, Clouded Mines couldn't pull it through. They had a great showing game number 1, but I think after that, CCS had their number. They didn't let them get the and to win. And despite the impressive plays by Tiger, the team really just couldn't capitalize. They'd get the pick and then they'd get, some minions, or they'd pick up a camp. And they didn't have the opportunity to push with it. And it's really just a shame because they had some really strong momentum. It just didn't quite come together in the end.
I think we definitely saw why Urel was banned at the first 2 games.
Oh, I definitely agree. What a devastating Draenei player there on the side of Osprey.
Yep. That Space Ghost, that Space Goat. God, see that one. One of those is trademarked. The Space Goat is coast to coast.
I'm gonna go ahead and whisper Valkymer, ask if they would like to do an interview, and then we will ask our lovely friend Oddthought, who is helping us out because my internet is potatoes, to send us over to a raid. We want Valkymer interview. And while we're yes.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, while we were waiting to see on that interview, I was gonna hop over to a lobby that the players could join. Do you have something to talk about during the game? I'm gonna go ahead and show the talents right now so our viewers at home can see them and understand why the game went the way they did.
Yeah, if we're gonna change lobbies, let's do that real quick.
All right, thank you very much, Oddthought. We appreciate you so much. You've been amazing.
You to bomb.
And let's hop into, we'll do casting, coin toss.
I can join you in the other lobby, by the way.
Sure thing. We appreciate that. Let's go to, I totally forgot. Yeah, you probably want to be there so the stream can hear the interview as well. Let's hop over to coin toss, map pick lobby 5. All right.
So, with that game, I noticed a lot of so ETC engages, and then then CCS kind of held on to what they were doing. They waited for the counter engage from Clouded Minds to then counter engage. Sort of. There was no disengaging going on. It was all it was just fisticuffs the whole way through, and so a lot of patience and discipline coming from Can't Counterpick Stupid and waiting on blowing all of their stuff until it was right. You see a cow, you stampede at him, you run for it, and then suddenly you're caught by the Phoenix and the Black Hole and the Urel, and you've already lost your Ring of Frost. Your silence is on cooldown. You don't have shield anymore. I think the way the team fights played out, CCS did a really good job for that. Not that Clouded Minds did things wrong. I think CCS did things better.
Definitely. And at this time, we are joined in the lobby by the assistant captain himself, Valkymer. How are you feeling after your wins?
Great. We've been on a little bit of a slump, so we needed a win. So we appreciate the chance to play, and we're happy that this one ended in our favor.
Definitely. So let's talk about game number 1. It was a little bit of a rocky start for you guys. Why do you think that was?
I felt like we were doing okay before the first objective. We kind of got out of our macro plan, unfortunately. With we had Valera soaking for a minute, and we've run a very similar comp before on that map, and the opposing team didn't deal with the Valera, and Clouded Minds they were watchful, they were attentive to each other, they were all sorts of good teammates. Unfortunately, Valera wants to pick off the straggler, and they were too smart for that, so we had ourselves painted in a bit of a corner, and they kept us there.
I thought the Valera was a great pick, though, and we saw it work a couple of times, and then they picked up on it. But overall, I thought the Valera was a very smart pick.
Yeah, and I think Silma plays her super well. The guy is fantastic, and okay, so this time it didn't work out. They were hip to our jive. They slapped us around, and we just never really got back.
Game number 2, however, you guys kind of picked yourselves up, dusted yourselves off, and had a really dominant showing. You showed up late to the objectives a lot. I don't say necessarily late as in you guys were behind, but more in the sense that they had 99%. Were you guys ever worried that even though you were showing up at around the 80% mark, there was a chance that you guys couldn't grab those protectors, or did you have a plan? This was all part of it.
We were trying to get a little bit ahead on experience, because we knew if we could get to that point, especially with the comp we had, like, we would just skyrocket ahead in experience, because we knew the lava wave was coming. We knew we had the anti-siege if we needed it. Even the forward siege. We did as much damage on that top wall as some teams get out of that protector, so I thought that was beautiful. I wasn't the siege damage guy, I was just a big abomination running around for globes, but the actual siege damage part of the team did great, while I just giggled and, threw hooks random places, sometimes catching people.
You guys did a great job. I have to ask, though, that Imperious, you banned it in game number 3. Was it a little bit too much of you? Especially, there was one point where your Sylvanas just kind of melted in the top lane at about 20 minutes in.
I apologize, Jinxie. I'm going to need you to repeat that, because I got robot Jinxie.
Oh no, my internet is going out. That's rough. The Imperious.
So I heard something about Imperious is actually Satan.
Yeah, I just wanted to know how you guys kind of dealt with that, considering at around 20 minutes into the game, he was just kind of destroying you guys all. Did you have a plan? Did you know they were going to pick it? Tell me a little bit.
We didn't. I thought it was a very smart counter pick to Stitches, because if you don't have enough percentage-based damage, then Stitches just kind of has a play date.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I thought that was extremely smart by Tiger. I thought he played it well. We had a fight at the top fort that we killed someone. We had no reason to keep staying there because we had split off to clean up some lanes or get a camp or something like that. And I walked forward, and he just ripped me to shreds. I mean, between the Valorous brands not expiring or not being consumed, with the level 20, and the Burn the Impure at level 1, like, he didn't care how many globes I had collected. He just, there goes your health.
Right.
7.5% health per auto attack. So
yeah,
can't stitch that back together.
The Imperious was fantastic into the stitches, but so Stitches is one of the most fun characters to get into character with, if you will, and just laughing, hooking, screaming playtime. When you find a new friend, you know, you stuff them in your belly and run it back to your fort and say, "Look at all this great toys we've got, friend."
So what I would like to know here on game 2 before we move to game 3, game 1 was absolutely rough. Game 2, up until that first protector, was also still looking rough, and even then they were kind of having their way with you guys as characters, but losing out on the objectives and the map control. So what I want to know, and I said to Jinxie, I want to know what Coach said in the locker room. What were comms like between the loss and knowing that you had game 2?
Well, our coach wasn't here. I think he might catch the stream, so I don't know that. But one thing that I think we do decently well is we don't pet the sweaty things. And I realize that's the opposite of the normal.
Yeah.
But it's okay to lose. Like, we have had now 6 maps against Clouded Mines in our history, and I don't think a single one has been an easy win. And one thing that I mean, we're in an amateur league in a virtual game. There's no money on the line. It's okay to lose. Like, let's play our game, let's have fun, let's do it our way, and it'll be all right. You know, if we lose again, okay, they prepped better than us. They're a fantastic team. It could have gone either way, but we came out to have fun.
I love it. That's a great way to do it. And you know, it's a lot easier to have fun if you don't worry about the last game.
Yeah. And we had a couple ideas going into game 3, and we're surprised at how much we actually got away with. So, but no, in game 2, I think Deathshade and I probably led the game in deaths because reasons, and most of those were bad positioning reasons. But even so, like, okay, when you come up, are you going to have this ability? Yes. Okay, send it here at this time, and we're going to go do this. And Osprey was helping us keep our heads together. And, I mean, our good friend Madathy has to be the MVP of this match. She saved our butts so many times and got some incredible getaways that I'm sure the other team will hate us for.
Yeah, really strong plays by that Stukov. There were so many times when I thought the team might get away, and that silence just prevented them from doing anything. No spells, and auto attacking Johannas aren't really the scariest thing in the world. Moving on to game 3. How excited were you when you got the URL? When you saw they hadn't banned it out?
Yeah, we were stoked.
Me too.
Us learned URL in the off season, and I think he's really picked it up. Silma played our off lane in previous seasons and had some monster URL plays, but we had a backup plan if there was no Urel. We knew we were going to make it work, and I think that us had quite a bit of fun. I mean, Maltheo was one of our backups, and so we had him left open, which meant Tiger got to zoom around on a pale horse, but it worked out. And so yeah, I think Os was pretty stoked there. And I, even from my perspective, which is sometimes busier than I can process, watched Os catch multiple last rights with whatever divine shield thing she uses, because I can't remember the name because I don't play the
Ardent Defender. That's one of the
Ardent
interactions we were
Defender.
talking about too. Because he got an early last rights kill on Urel, who did not have Ardent Defender up, and then we kept seeing last rights on an Ardent Defender.
Yeah. No, it worked super well. The armor reduction at 16 was fantastic for us. We had a couple anti-synergy moments between a black hole and a righteous hammer and a mosh or a face melt, but overall, I mean, it worked out. We'll learn from it and tighten those things up.
You guys did a really
Yep.
great job. Do you have any more questions, Taco?
Yeah, so Val, coming out of this, you have a reverse sweep, so it's easy to see some things you did wrong and a lot of things you did well. What do you think your team executed the best, and what do you think this match specifically, right? What do you think you need to go back and work on the most?
Tough question. I think that what we did very well was stick to the plan in games 2 and 3. And we had quite a bit of macro pressure there. And I would say that that was kind of our failing in game 1 also, is we started ahead on experience. I think we hit level 4 first, we hit level 7 first. Oh no, actually I think we lost level 7, but we hit level 10 first. But then we started to have just some, we got out of the macro part of the plan. And so that made it so that the micro part of the plan couldn't work because we're still cleaning up lanes. We had multiple times where we got kills and it was like, okay, let's push. We have to clean all 3 lanes. We can't push anything yet.
Yeah, that makes it hard.
So I guess that's probably my initial takeaway without having gone back and watched everything.
Okay. Well, I mean, and that's what I want is like kind of your feelings about the game without, you're not going back and watching film and having practice yet. So just kind of your initial thoughts.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. That's it for me as far as questions, Jinxie.
Yeah, I'm good. Shout outs that you guys would like to give before we send you off to celebrate your victory.
Well, my first shout out will always be, hi mom.
Shout out to Valk's mom.
Yeah, awesome lady. I don't get to see her as much as I probably should, but she takes care of me, she takes care of my family, and let's face it, she's why I'm here on this earth, right? So, hi mom. But great play by the team. I'm not certain, but I think we used 15 unique heroes, which I think is awesome. And I love the flexibility that everybody had, and the plays that they made. I think that there was great stuff all over. And shout out, of course, to Clouded Minds. They are always masterful opponents. Yes, we got the reverse sweep this time, but it could have easily gone the other way. They play super well. They put their hearts into it. Weenus likes to throw stuff or shoot stuff at me for 90 minutes and I feel targeted, but they play great. They never give up. They work hard. They team fight like just vicious animals. So all sorts of great things to say about Clouded Minds. And then of course to our caster core. I mean, we always appreciate the cast. I I seem to think that Jinxie has been a bit of a good luck charm for us, because I think she's
Aw.
casted 3 times for us, and we have managed to win all 3 of those. So I will
Yeah.
take it and just maximize that as much as I can. But and Taco, I believe this is your first time having to deal with the obnoxious Valkymer so directly, but I appreciate you putting up with me. And Odd Thought, our last minute come through, let's make sure this gets broadcast. He's a good friend. He is actually part of the original Hi Mom moment with me, and we really appreciate it, guys. So anytime, if you need a favor, we'll do what we can to be there.
We appreciate you guys so much for playing. Thanks so much for coming in and chatting to us. Now go celebrate your win with your team.
Thank you.
Great job.
Have a great rest of your evening.
Bye.
All right, guys, that's going to be it for us this evening. Thank you so much, Taco, for joining me. And once again, I am recording this. I'm going to go ahead. I'll post it on NGS, and then anybody who would like the recording afterwards, you guys can go ahead and look at the games. Please let me know. I'll be more than happy to send them your way. Taco, where can people find you?
People can find me at twitch.tv/El Taquito, no spaces, spelled like the food, Spanish for the taquito. And also on Twitter, find me over at the Lil Taco, THELIL Taco. That's you can get all of your taco needs except for the sweet and savory delight that does come from Taco Bell. Or, well, actual Tex-Mex.
Oh, thank you very much for hanging with me through all this devastating internet problems. I appreciate you so much. You guys can find me
fun.
over at twitch.tv/JinxieCat. That's JINXEEKATT. When my internet isn't down. And you can also find me on Twitter at the same name and on Instagram, where if you'd like to see pictures of my dog, Lyria, and my cat, who would rather sleep in an Amazon box than the $20 bed that I just bought him, check it out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a wonderful evening. And once again, Odd Thought, we appreciate you so much for coming in clutch and letting us cast the final match of the game on Twitch.
Glad to be a part of this number. Well done.
Thanks so much, man. Jinxie,